Hello, I'm Orhan Gaybov. You're watching AzTV News. For the first time after many years, a festive bonfire was lit in Xankəndi on the Victory Square. In this corner of our motherland, once turned into the heaven of terrorists, a festive atmosphere now reigns. The festive bonfire lit in Xankəndi also sent a definite message to the world. In the words of President İlham, there is not a trace left of separatists. The bonfire in honor of Novruz represents the complete cleansing of our lands.
6 months ago, these lands were also on fire, but this was not festive fire. These were explosions of weapon shells. The fire that ended the terrorists in less than 24 hours. The anti-terrorism measures carried out in September last year made it possible to fully restore the sovereignty over all lands. In those territories where now, instead of gunshots, there is serenity and prosperity, a festive bonfire is now being lit, incorporating all the values of peace, prosperity, justice, and goodness. This bonfire is not just a festive one, it is victorious, the victory bonfire, lit on the Victory Square.
Dördüncü dəfədir ki, bayram tonqalını mən azad edilmiş Qarabağ torpağında qalıram.
It's the fourth time that I have lit the holiday bonfire in the liberated lands of Karabakh. In 2021 it was in Shusha, in 2022 in Sogovshan, last year in the village of Talij, and this time the holiday bonfire was lit in the city of Xankəndi. This brings great happiness. 6 months ago, as a result of anti-terror operation, which lasted less than a day, we fully restored our sovereignty, and today the territorial integrity of our country is fully ensured across the entire territory of Azerbaijan. We demonstrated tremendous heroism during the Second Karabakh War and the anti-terror operation. May Allah rest the souls of all our martyrs in peace. Thanks to the dedication, professionalism and heroism of our martyrs, brave soldiers and officers, we are now building and creating in this land. Life is returning to this land. Through extensive construction efforts, we have already facilitated the return of former displaced persons to their ancestral lands, and this process will continue this year.
Bu torpaqlara həyat qayıdır və geniş quruculuq işləri aparılaraq biz artıq keçmiş köçkünləri öz dədə-baba torpaqlarına qaytara bilmişik və bu il bu proses davam edəcək.
During the 30-year occupation, Armenians committed a number of terrorist acts on the territory of Azerbaijan. These acts were directed both against the people and our natural resources, history, religious monuments, and cultural centers. A bunch of liars who tried to falsify history by altering structures built on our ancestral lands failed to achieve their goal.
Xankəndi Sovet dövründə də Azərbaycan büdcəsi hesabına Azərbaycan memarları tərəfindən, inşaatçıları tərəfindən inşa edilmişdir. Bax, arkadaki bina Vilayet Partiya Komitəsinin binası.
Xankəndi was built by Azerbaijani architects and builders at the expense of the Azerbaijani budget during the Soviet period. Look at the building behind me. It was the building of the Regional Party Committee. It was designed by Azerbaijani architect Hasan Majidov. The building next to it was built in the 1970s and housed the Regional Executive Authority. This building was designed by Azerbaijani architect Nasrullah Kengerli. This building was built as a hotel at that time. After that, the Armenians changed its appearance. Now the ancient face of this building is being reinstated. The author of this hotel was Azerbaijani architect Anvar Qasimzadeh. These examples alone show there was representatives of the Azerbaijani people who built and created this city, and indeed, all the cities and villages of the former Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Region. They were the authors of architecture and participated in the construction. These buildings are our historical wealth.
Salan, yaradan, memarlığın müəllifi olan, inşaat işlərində iştirak edən Azərbaycan xalqının nümayəndələri. Bu binalar bizim tarixi sərvətimizdir.
The years of occupation and the post-occupation period cannot even be compared. On the one hand, we see examples of barbarism, on the other hand, an example of creation, a return of life. This is one of Azerbaijan's most important messages to the world. The festive bonfire lit in Khankandi also became a kind of a message from Azerbaijan to the entire world.
Today is the last festive Tuesday of Nowruz, Earth Tuesday. The 4 Tuesdays in the run-up to Nowruz symbolize the 4 elements called Water Tuesday, Fire Tuesday, Wind Tuesday, and Earth or Last Tuesday. On the last Tuesday, people celebrate blossom of trees and the arrival of spring. Holiday tables are set up, bonfires are lit, khoncha is decorated. There are some Nowruz customs that people are still practicing, eavesdropping behind the door, lighting up the candle, and so on. Spring will arrive on 20th of March this year. Nowruz marks the vernal equinox. First Vice President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, has shared a post on her social media accounts on the last Tuesday. A festive event was held in Ağalı village of Zengilan district on the occasion of Nowruz holiday. On last Tuesday, a holiday bonfire was lit and a concert was organized with the participation of musicians. The Minister of Health addressed the population in connection with health protection and preventive measures during the Nowruz holidays. In order to prevent cases of infection with infectious diseases, it is recommended to use personal safety masks and observe hygiene requirements in crowded places. In connection with the spring season, certain changes occur in the human immune system, which leads to the spread of respiratory viral infections. Therefore, persons with fever and symptoms of upper respiratory tract infection should use hygiene products so as not to infect other people with whom they come into contact. You can get in touch with us via our WhatsApp and Telegram accounts at 051 511 1956, through which you can report events you encountered, as well as share suggestions and remarks. That was all for the day. Thanks for being with us, and goodbye.